Hey. I have something to say to you. Something to put out there. So this is life. This is existence. And this is where it happens. It happens right here. I don't know, it's weird because right now, just looking straight into this mirror, looking right at myself, it's like I'm looking at another person. Looking at myself from third person, I guess. And it looks like I'm speaking to myself, because that's the beauty of mirrors. And you really connect to that being on the other side. And it's like I want to tell myself something. And I have this vivid memory. There's so many points in my life. When I was 10, when I was when I was a kid, when I got older, just these weird moments looking into the mirror, like, really? That's who I am? Like, really? And I mean, I look at my face sometimes and I don't recognize it. I mean, it really feels like, at times, it's like that 12-year-old part of me just went zap, and then here we are, you know, nearly 20 years later. Here I am. Here I am. Here we all are. Trying to figure out what it all means right now. We're not. We're just existing inside of the patterns of our daily lives, the pathways of to and fro, the buses, the cars, the cell phones, the communication, the lack of communication, the TVs, our favorite shows, our favorite activities, working out, coming home, going again, dreaming, not dreaming, day in and day out, the seasons changing. And it's bizarre. I mean, it's kind of bizarre that this is what it is, you know? This is what it is. But so much of the time I'm not conscious. Like, I feel like I'm doing better now. Like, there's not really any place that I feel like I fit into this whole world. Like, you squeeze yourself, you squeeze into these shapes and these spaces that you feel like you don't fit into. A corporate job, waking up at 9, coming home at 5, writing emails, thinking about the next big thing you can actually do that might be productive. What are you worth? Who knows about you? How many Facebook friends do you have? If you have YouTube videos, if you have blog posts, if you have, you know, something you do inside the company or in something you do every day, like a sport or an activity, it's like, who knows about you? How marketable are you? How successful are you by your own standards? How do you even define success? I'm trying to figure that out. How do I define it? I wish I could say this was one of those videos that actually had some answer I was proposing. But I'm figuring it out I'm making music. I'm starting a business. I'm scanning stuff into 3D, and I don't know, it seems like something that I can, just using what I know in my mind to try to do something productive within the machine that can give me the means to do what I really want to do, which is just live off the grid with like the people I love, and to just be free, and to play music by the bonfire every night and jump in the waves and feel the sun on my skin. But it's like, sometimes that seems so unattainable. I worked 5 years, those were the longest 5 years, but so was college, so was high school. It was all inside of like a giant hamster cage, and there's wheels you can run on, there's ramps you can go up and down, there's things you can do. You can party, you can drink, you can have relationships, you can have fun, you can have friendships, but it's all within the framework of civilization. And I don't think civilization is a bad thing inherently. I don't think commerce is a bad thing. I don't think capitalism is a bad thing. But some shit got whacked up. Like, it got weird. It started moving too fast. It started being, I don't know, something started feeling not genuine about this. Like, I wake up in the morning sometimes and I go in front of the mirror like this, and I'm like so abstracted from this reality, from who I am anymore. I mean, it's like every 2 seconds something's vibrating. Every 2 seconds there's a Facebook post that you need to look at. There's something being shared. And on the good side of it, we're sharing good stuff. We're sharing what is like, we see the problems of the world. We see that this grid that we're in has monopolized everything we are, and the word's getting out. Like, people are expressing themselves now. And that's so rad. Like, I love to see it. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm plugged in to Facebook, the reason I'm plugged into YouTube, the reason I'm plugged into the whole sphere of that information. I mean, it's awesome. But it comes with a price. And it's not just that stuff, it's the stuff we're eating, it's the genetically modified foods we're eating, it's the stuff that's got pesticides laden in it, it's the fact that we don't sleep enough anymore. We're drinking rock stars, 2 a day sometimes, just to stay up and get through work. How many hours a week is the average person working just to live? And by live, I mean a stressful existence a lot of the time. An existence that isn't connected to the core root of what it means to be, the vibes of being human, the vibes of feeling alive, of being like with your best friends, just in some place you love, doing something you absolutely love. It's this tiny percent of the time when it actually feels like we're really here and we're really alive. I guess I'm just noticing that, and I need to express it. I've developed this weird habit, I don't think I'm the only one, where anytime that we need to express, anytime that we find something like real in the rough, we're walking down the street and something goes down, like, some guy's doing a somersault across the sidewalk, the cell phones come out, the iPhones come out, we gotta record the moment, we gotta capture it. I'm doing it right now. I know this is like a psychosis that's entered our society, but it seems like the only way to capture the essence of what's real and preserve it in some meaningful form, for it to be noticed. Because it's like this thing where we can't appreciate our own lives unless they're being viewed, unless what we have to say is being heard. The lives that we're living are being seen. What's that addiction? What's at the root of it? Like, I really want to meditate on this today. Like, what is it that is making me so, like, I feel the stress right now of launching this business, and I'm excited about it, but I'm stressed. I feel the excitement and the stress of releasing new music into the world, releasing videos. I have all these ideas. I've got so much, but I don't have the time to do it all necessarily, and maybe I do have the time. Maybe I just lack the willpower, or I lack the energy, or I don't, I'm not very organized. Everyone's got their demon. Everyone's got their thing. For me, I just like, I live inside my mental worlds. That's where I am. I'm an imagination machine. And I don't live in this world. I don't live in the world of the Derek that I see in the mirror. Like, maybe 6-7% of the time, and that's being honest. Like, I'm in my head all the time. Like, I'm in my head, and I'm just feeling, I'm feeling fucking overwhelmed. I'm feeling overwhelmed by this world right now. And I guess just consider this like a diary entry. I just need to tell this to myself, see myself, tell myself this. Derek, you're more than this. Like, you're more than the job you have and the Facebook you have, the post that you make. You're more than the money that you make and the people that see you as a big deal or something. This whole idea that we all gotta make it big, bigger, better, stronger, faster, evolve. And evolution is a good thing, and I believe in it, and I believe that there's a meta-conscious connecting all of us that's evolving, and we don't even know it. I mean, on the plus side, that's why I see this internet thing happening right now. That's why I see Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and every apparatus we have to send information between each other is a very similar thing to neurons firing inside of a human brain as a human grows up. We're reaching that point where we're sentient, where we're all aware that we all exist. I mean, it started with roads, then we built the telephone poles, then we made the cell phones, then the internet did what it did, the Facebook profiles, the text messages. It's a communication grid. And it's much like when one neuron sends an electrical message from one to the next. Me speaking to myself right now is interesting. It's like a neuron sending a message to itself. But then again, this camera's here, the power of the camera. It's like me sending an electrical message to whoever is on the other end of this. I don't know who you are. Sorry, I'd look into the camera more. I'm realizing the effect of these cameras and what they do to us. They do something. They do something strange. Usually, unless they're used right, unless they're used in a way that is true to the soul mission of the person being recorded. So right now, this is coming straight off. This is what I feel. This is coming off of my mind this morning of January 6th, 2014, sorry, wow, year just passed. Didn't just pass, but 2014, like we're in the future. If you ever, I mean, you look around us and the devices we have, the capabilities we have are endless. We can 3D print anything we can possibly imagine. Like it's all in our grasp right now. And what are we gonna do with it? You know, what are we gonna do with it? And I guess each one of us makes that decision every day. Each one of us has the answer to that. And we all see a different place. And some of us see the same place. I mean, if you want to know what I see like myself getting out of these rooms, these offices, these concrete streets. But I like the city. I like the interconnected vibe. But minimalized. The forest is so much more beautiful. The ocean is so much more beautiful. The trees, the old trees. Have you ever been around an old growth tree? Oh, like you feel the wisdom of the forest before we fucked with it, and it was beautiful. I just want to get back to some of that. Like but I don't want to give up everything here either. You know, like I'm trying to work through this, and I know there's others out there trying to do the same. Anyway, like I said, I'm just kind of ranting right now. I don't have answers. I just have a lot of questions. And, well, a lot of... I'm just happy to exist. I'm happy to exist in whatever form I take. And if I died tomorrow, or in 10 years, or in 30 years, or 60 years, or whatever, I would hope that wherever I am at any given moment, I can just be feeling the full extent of gratitude and fascination and awe possible at any given moment. And that's not always going to be the case. There's going to be times where I look back at the day or the week or sometimes a year goes by and you're like, where was I? Seriously, where was I? I don't really, when you're kind of half there, you're half alive. And you accept it because, you don't want to ask for too much, right? Life can't always be awesome. Life is hard, right? That's what you're taught when you grow up. That life is not easy. That this world is a place where people starve, people die, people do fucked up shit. They also do really good shit. Really good acts they do. We're dynamic beings. And we're constantly evolving and we're constantly changing. We're passionate. And so when the system is upset, just like a teenager going through their rebellious years, if you break that down neurologically and also break that down, imagine our entire earth as a teenage kid going through their rebellious phase, right? Going through their self-hatred, going through their angst, those neurons firing away as they go through their day, maybe picked on someone, maybe said some sarcastic shit, then turned around and went home and cried on their bed because they're life is stressful, but then maybe they have someone they care about, someone they love with all their heart, and they might not know it right away, but that is their truest form of who they are is in that love. And if y'all resonate with that, then I resonate with you, because I'm all about the love. That's all I want to find right now. I want to surround my world with love. I want to give it to everything. I want art on the walls. I want art on the sidewalk. I want that whole thing looking like a fractal, looking like a beautiful, I want flowers. I want sand. I want sun. I want the golden rays. I'm getting look, I'm totally getting swept up in my own, and you kind of get swept up in your own poetic thoughts, and you're like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just I'm getting way too ranty, I suppose, but that's the fun of having no script. That's the fun of getting off the grid. That's the fun of just bouncing with the flow and you don't know where to go except here. No fear, just love. Hanging tough, but showing love. Hanging tough. No. But you do gotta be tough. The world does, man, I've learned this place will smack you around a bit. This place will throw you for a loop sometimes. You think you got it all together and then you don't. And then all that, I get so inspired. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just start this is the emergence time. This is where Derek Morrison finally releases this giant world inside of this imaginative self that has never come in, that's always inside me. And now I know the tools. Okay, I can make a video. I can make something 3D. I can make a movie. I could go on the street and just start dancing. And I've done that. I went out 2 nights ago into Seattle and just started I love just going into a park with a couple headphones on and just unleashing whatever is there. And there's something about doing it in a public place sometimes. And I realize that about myself. I'm kind of a performer, and I almost despise that stereotype, but yet I feel that. because I think I need to, there's something about expressing and being heard, and that's why the cameras are so powerful, and I think we all just want to be heard, and I think we all want to be known, and I want to know you, and I want you to know me, and I want an equal exchange. I find something, like, when I hear people putting themselves out there through the Facebook or through YouTube or all these places, it's so exciting, but it's this one-way street. Like, I wish there was some way we could interconnect within that zone better. But with the ultimate goal of bringing it to this zone, this place of atoms and molecules and souls that are inhabiting every little biological square molecule inch. That square molecule inch doesn't really make sense, but you know what I'm saying. Every little bit. There's something about getting back to real life, pulling ourselves out of the screens and the thoughts and the stresses. It's all manufactured. It's a whole scheme. It's a harvesting machine for our time, for our energy. Like, literally, watch the beam go. Next time you ride a bus, watch everybody on their iPhones. Watch everybody on their screens. Their energy, their time, their souls are getting sucked into this other dimension, and it's feeding somewhere, right, into our economy. It's an economy that is structured around knowing people's patterns, knowing people's information, the data economy. It's a vast network that's just silently sucking underneath us. We sit at home, we watch the TV, the commercials play, which makes us buy products, but we watch the shows that play on our heartstrings and make us feel like we're living vicariously. Meanwhile, we eat food. The food is basically poisonous because, yes, it's made out of processed things that your body doesn't even know what to do with. These bodies have been around for 500,000 years, and they did not eat Twinkies. I'm sorry, but they did not eat Oreos. They did not eat cereal, milk. Well, maybe a little bit of milk, but we got so much RGBH, like hormones pumped into that shit, that it's not even right anymore. And so, you know, we did not have Paxil and Prozac and Celexa and Accutane and Ritalin and you know, Adderall, all this shit that we put in ourselves just to get by, just to live in this dimension. I'm sick of that stuff. Like, come on. I mean, it's cool if you're trying to help people, but pharmaceutical companies, why are you doing that? Why are you, like, you're being straight up mean. Like, you know that that's going to lead to other problems. Like, you know that this is engineered through the government lobbies to make tons of profits. I'm ranting again. Look, I have a lot of thoughts, and I think we all do. And I think our thoughts deserve respect, and we feel like we need to be heard. But more than that, we just gotta carve out a place in our hearts where we know where we're going. We're going to that next dimension, that next conscious dimension, whether it's in this life or the next, I don't know, it doesn't matter what you believe, but every day that you wake up is like another life. I mean, you go to sleep, where the hell do you go? You go to some other universe, right? You come right back into this body. That's like dying every night. So, I mean, to me, the idea of like multiple lifetimes makes more sense because it's like a sleeping and awake kind of pattern, just different reverberation sets. And sorry, tangent. Anyway, a lot of random thoughts to get off my chest today, and it's good to see. It's good to see myself in the mirror again, and not as this, but the soul behind those eyes. The vibe inside of this body that expresses itself through movement, through touch and smell and taste and sound and words. As absurd as they are, they're what we've got. And the way we have to communicate these days is not down, you know, we don't walk down to the supermarket or the bus and get to know each other anymore. We do it this way. We do it through the cameras. We do it through the texts. We do it through the network pathways that we've created for ourselves, knowingly or not. You know, in these mega structures, superstructures of data relationships. there's realness behind it too. Like, just like this is me, this is real. But I know there's something more, and we're all trying to get there. And it's at the tip of everyone's tongue. It's at the tip of our minds, and we're getting there, but there's a lot up against us too. So, and our souls could literally be sucked away into these alternate realities, and we could keep developing them and forget about this dope place we have right here, planet Earth. Anyway, that's all I got for this morning. I'm working on some things. I just thought I'd make a little post and share my thoughts. I'm working on some stuff and that can express this, and you got to make everything like bite-sized and vibrant and colorful, and you don't have to, but that's one of the fun things about imagination. That's the fun thing about being an artist. And I'm realizing now that I thought I was an artist. I kind of am, but at the same time I'm like, art is only a means to an end, and only a means to bring us back to the place of like heaven, radness.
We're gonna unlock time, unlock time, unlock time, unlock time, unlock time, unlock time. We're gonna unlock time, unlock time, unlock time, unlock time. We gonna unlock time. Break it down in your mind, in your mind. The way I see it, there's no such thing as a king or a pawn, just the stars in the sky and the soul that you own. All the friends in your life that you know to the bone. Connections in the next life, I say they go on. Cause it matters for molecules, compounds, networks, fusing from a force that pulls them together. Why wouldn't we be the same thing too? Like the cellular rockers that let the form new. The many with the one at the same time. Sun shining bright like a dynamo, meeting with the bomb. So what's the big pattern if you stretch it through time? Big bang and repeat like a wave of a sign. So what's the EKG in the life of the mind? And the body and the soul, is it in there to find? All these new ways to connect your minds. The science and economy of Facebook Live. Is really just reaching out, connecting in the zone. Like a brain bill snaps, rise and come. See into the future through an evolution. And if you feel the need now, let me take it back home. And alone as you walk through your life, see everything around you as the story that you write. The pen in your hand, third eye on the sight. Go find what you love and let it get you mad high. What you got is that you're like a god. You can change this whole world, still amazing like a fraud. The reactor or a catalyst, as